All right, let's get into it. Today, we're tackling a topic that can be a real headache when you're studying for the CPA exam, voidable contracts. But we're not just going to memorize definitions today. Nope. We're going to build a mental framework that actually sticks. Think of this less like a lecture and more like a strategic power-up for your exam day.
I mean, seriously, think about it. For some of you, the LCPA is still years away. So the real challenge isn't just cramming this for a quiz next week, right? It's about making sure this stuff stays in your brain, sharp and ready to go when you're actually sitting for the boards. And the way we do that is by building a mental model, a simple, powerful way of thinking about it that you won't forget. So that's our mission today. We're going to build one for voidable contracts. Ready? Let's start. So here's the game plan. We'll kick things off with the main idea. Then we'll hunt for the two big flaws. We'll look at what happens when a yes isn't a real yes, what you can do about it, and the ticking clock you have to watch out for. And then we'll wrap it all up with the ultimate cheat sheet.
Okay, first things first. Let's get to the core of what a voidable contract even is. What makes it different from all the other defective contracts you have to study? So check out the key phrase here. This is everything. Valid and binding unless it is annulled. See, unlike a void contract, which is basically dead on arrival, a voidable contract is alive and well. It's walking around, it's breathing, it has all the essential parts: consent, object, cause. The problem isn't that something's missing, it's that one of those parts is flawed. And here's our mental model. This is how you're going to remember this forever. A voidable contract is like a piece of software with a hidden bug, you know? The app launches, it seems to work perfectly fine, everything's running smoothly, until someone finds that bug, and if they decide to act on it, then the whole thing could crash. But until that moment, the software works. So, what exactly are these bugs? Well, the law basically narrows them down to two main types, and they both attack that core element we mentioned, consent. So here are our two bug categories, side by side. On one hand, you've got incapacity to consent. This is where one person just legally can't agree to the contract. And on the other hand, you have vitiated consent. This is where the person can legally say yes, but their yes was, well, it was messed up, it was flawed, or even forced. Let's dig into incapacity for a second. The law is super specific about this. It's talking about unemancipated minors, of course, but also insane or demented persons, unless they're having a lucid interval, which is like a moment of clarity. The point is, the law steps in to protect these people because they can't fully grasp what they're agreeing to. Okay, but what if everybody involved is legally capable of giving consent, but the yes itself is the problem? This takes us to that second type of bug. The vices of consent. And here they are. The law gives us 5 specific ways that consent can be corrupted, making a contract voidable. You've got mistake, violence, intimidation, undue influence, and fraud. Each one is a different flavor of how someone's free will was basically hijacked when they agreed to the deal. And here is your big study hack for the LLCPA. You gotta remember these 5 vices, so just burn this acronym into your memory. MVIUF. Mistake, violence, intimidation, undue influence, fraud. Seriously, from now on, when you see a practice question about a shady contract, just run that checklist in your head. MVIUF. It's a game changer. Okay, so we found the bug. We know the contract is voidable. Now what? Well, the person whose consent was defective now has a choice. Do they patch the software, or do they let the whole system crash? So option 1 is annulment. This is the crash button. The person who is harmed goes to court and says, hey, this contract isn't valid. And if they win, the court basically makes it so the contract never existed in the first place. It's a total shutdown. But there's another way. And this quote from the Civil Code sums it up perfectly. It's called ratification. This is our software patch. Instead of crashing the program, the person who was harmed can choose to fix the bug. They can decide to accept the contract, flaws and all, and make it fully valid. So, to put it simply, annulment kills the contract, but it means you have to go to court. Ratification saves the contract, and it can be as simple as just saying so or even just acting like the contract is valid once the problem is gone, like continuing to make payments. Now, this choice, to patch or to crash, it doesn't last forever. You can't just sit on it. The law puts a really specific and super important time limit on this. 4 years. That's the magic number you absolutely have to remember for the exam. The action to annul the contract has to be filed within 4 years. If you wait any longer, well, that bug basically becomes a permanent feature. The contract becomes fully valid, and you lose your chance to crash it. But here's the tricky part, and this is prime exam material. When does that 4-year clock actually start ticking? It depends on the bug. If there was intimidation or violence, the clock starts when the threat is gone. If it was mistake or fraud, it starts when you discover it. And for a minor, that 4-year period only begins once they become an adult. They love to ask about this on the exam, so really soak the slide in. Okay, let's bring it all home. We've laid out all the pieces, and now we're going to put them together into one final, easy-to-use mental model. This is the cheat sheet you'll take with you. And there it is, your complete brain hack for voidable contracts. Seriously, grab your phone and screenshot this right now. The core idea? It's that software bug. The contract works fine until it's annulled. The 2 kinds of bugs? Incapacity, someone just couldn't consent, and vitiated consent, which you'll remember with MVIUF. The outcomes? You either crash the system with annulment or you patch it with ratification. And the deadline? That 4-year ticking clock. Simple, clean, and perfect for when you're under pressure.
So I'll leave you with this question. You have the framework now. You have the mental model. The next time you're going through your review materials and you hit a tricky problem, don't just try to remember a random rule. Pull up this framework in your mind. Ask, is there a bug here? What kind of bug is it? Can it be patched? Has the deadline to crash the system already passed? That's how you go from just memorizing to actually understanding. And that's how you're going to ace this on exam day. You got this.